Okay.
Yeah.
This is Evan Sanders with Hub Productions, and we're here with Jensen Eklza. Jensen, thanks for coming out to Australia.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Now, congratulations on My Bloody Valentine. That just came out recently. We're just wondering, was there anything different about shooting in sort of a 3D format compared to the usual film style?
Absolutely. It's you've got two cameras mounted on a remote head, so you constantly the cameras are constantly calibrating themselves, and you've got somebody that's calibrating them. The lights are a lot hotter. You lose a lot of f-stops and stuff when you're filming with two different cameras. So the process of lighting was much longer. It's also shot in a wider format, so you're using what normally you shoot close-ups and stuff. It's all kind of wide, and you want to feel more of the world around you. So it kind of changes up the acting style a little bit. You have to be a little bit more expressive with your body language as opposed to just your face. So that was a little different.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, to Supernatural, because that's why we're here.
Yep.
Now, obviously, you do a lot of fight scenes in the series, a lot involving CGI and some involving actual stunts. Is there any sort of one you prefer doing in the show? Or?
We do actually a lot of practical stunts. There's not a whole lot of visual effects. Really, the visual effects that we have are sometimes, the smoke, the demon smoke, and things like that. But the actual fights and stunts and stuff, that's all practical. So, we get bumps and bruises and cuts and scrapes, just like anybody would doing stunts.
That's cool. Now, you've also had a lot of different guest stars on the show. Has there been anyone in particular that you've enjoyed working with more than any other? Or?
Well, that's kind of the interesting thing with our show is there's only two leads, so every week is a whole new onslaught of new guest stars. So we get to work with a lot of different people constantly. We've had a couple of reoccurrings that have been really great that we wish stuck around. Obviously, Jeffrey Dean Morgan played the father. Would have been great to kind of tie him in, but the show wasn't about the sons and the father. It was about the two sons. So ultimately, he had to go. But yeah, to pick one out of the giant bunch that we have, we've been very fortunate and had a lot of really, really talented people on the show.
Yeah, the episode with Ted Raimi, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And, Mitch Pileggi and
that was great.
Those guys, it's just, we've been very fortunate.
All right, just finally, obviously there's a huge mythology in the show that borrows from sort of everywhere at once. Has there ever been an episode that you've read and you've sort of thought, wow, that's really interesting, and you wanted to find out more about it? Like a monster or something like that?
It's all fairly, to me, like the whole concept of the show is interesting. Dealing with actual urban legends and we kind of strayed away from that a bit into the fourth season, and it's kind of become more of its own, mythology within itself. But for the first, season, 2 seasons, it was really, we were taking actual urban legends and folklore and attacking them head on. So that was interesting. I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't even know about existed. So that's a tribute to the writers and all their research.
Cool. Well, thanks for your time.
Good, thank you.
Okay,
Absolutely.